another reason why that breakup was a blessing in disguise is because you weren't experiencing love, you were experiencing an unhealthy attachment. Now, I understand that can be a very tough pill to swallow, especially when we've convinced ourselves that, no, I was in love, this was love, this was love. And I get why you may feel that way. But take it from me as someone who has coached, I've lost count, a ridiculous amount of people, talked to a ridiculous amount of people, heard the stories, seen behind the closed doors of so many people's situations, and gleaned so much from it. I can tell you for a fact that most people's situations are indeed unhealthy attachments, not love. When you dig deep enough into the situation, you start to see what's really going on. You start to find, and again, specifically for women, you'll find a lot of situations where deep inside the woman knew this was not the man for her. Meaning, when I say she knew, she felt something in her spirit. She felt her intuition telling her that, but she may have told herself, nah, I'm tripping. Nah, that's just as me being fearful. Like, she talked herself out of it. She rationalized past her intuition. But she did sense something. She did feel that or even know that, but she didn't want to accept it, okay? And the reasons why we develop unhealthy attachments, it stems from a lack of healing. But it can be things like afraid to be alone. It could be things like being exhausted with being single. Like there's an epidemic. I don't want to say it's an epidemic, but there's a lot of people who reach a point of, I don't want to be single anymore. So let me just go find someone to be. Let me just go find the best current option, not the person who's truly best for me, not the person I'm so deeply into, because that might take a longer time to wait for. No, let me just find what is good enough available right now or the best option that's around right now, and I'm just going to work with it, right? And in order to make themselves feel comfortable or validate their decision, they have to at some point convince themselves that I love this person or I'm growing to love them, which I'm going to do a whole video on growing to love. I don't agree with that mindset, but that's what a lot of people attempt to do, okay? And I'm not going to say no one in the history of life has ever been successful at pulling it off, even though I'm very skeptical at saying anyone's pulled it off, truly. But again, that's a different video. The point is, fear of being alone, fear of tired of being single, fear of facing family and their constant noise in your head. When you're going to have a boyfriend, a man, a husband, kids, whatever the case may be. Hell, unwanted pregnancy happens and now you don't want to have this single parent household. So you figure, let me just be with this person or marry this person. There's so many different reasons out there why people chose to be with someone, but it wasn't based off of, this is who I truly am deeply in love with. This is who I have a connection with. This is who I have the strongest feelings for I've ever experienced. That's not what most people are having happen in their life or choosing in their life at the moment due to those different circumstances. So the breakup, and when you do that, when you choose a partner without that foundation of true love and connection, it's pretty much, I don't want to say guaranteed because nothing is 100%, but it's pretty close that it's going to inevitably fall apart. It cannot stand on that faulty foundation. Plain and simple. Some people are able to pull it off for 5 years, some 10 years, some 20 years, some even 40 years. But listen, not every 40-year relationship is a happy one. There's some people who say, oh yeah, we've been together for 40 years, but how many of those years were actually happy? I know of situations where 90-something% of those years were miserable, not just bad, miserable, and it was just tolerating each other the entire time, okay? I don't want that for any of you. And so, again, when we experience a breakup and we're struggling with if we should, trying to either want to be with this person or entertaining that idea, we got to ask ourselves, was this really love? Like, why was I even there? What was truly drawing me to this individual? You know what I'm saying? And it has to be about the individual, not simply the situation, because that's another unhealthy attachment. Some people are attached to the situation. Again, some people enjoy the idea of being in this relationship, the idea of a potential marriage, the idea of having a family, the perception of people looking at them like, oh, you have a great relationship, even though behind closed doors, it's dysfunctional. Again, another example, I know people, because again, I know so many different scenarios, but I know of scenarios where people are on social media posting pictures and everyone's like, oh my gosh, look at this amazing couple goals, all this stuff, right? Lo and behold, nobody understands or knows these people are fighting behind closed doors and literally going through a divorce. Literally, while still continuing to post like it's an amazing relationship, okay? It can get like that. And so, but some people they don't want to lose that perception people have of them. And that in itself can keep them in this relationship. Because now it's, well, what are people going to say if they find out we broke up? You know what I'm saying? Now I got to face my friends. I got to face my family. I got to face society. I got to face Instagram, whatever it is. And some people will try to kick the can down the bucket to not have to face the decision and the reality of, this isn't working. I don't belong here. So bottom line is, there's all types of different reasons for the unhealthy attachment. And that breakup is an opportunity for you to evaluate that. And if it is an unhealthy attachment, that is for you to now gain peace and clarity from, that this is not where you belonged and there's better waiting for you. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. Relationships are the key to a successful life. But there's 5 areas that we have to be mindful of when it comes to relationships. There's relationship with God, relationship with ourselves, relationship with family and friends,